Hi and welcome. I'm Jennifer Bonoff, founder of BuildYourDigitalBrand.com. Doug and I are excited to share our interview series on personal branding. Hear from a diverse group of experts on the purpose and benefits of establishing your brand. Learn how to stand out and be memorable.
Hi, we're here today with Ryan Rhoten. Ryan is a speaker, podcaster, digital branding mentor, and soon-to-be author. He helps business professionals and career coaches boost their career cred using his four-step process he calls D.I.C.E. Through D.I.C.E, Ryan's clients learn how to build their personal and business brands in a way that amplifies their career cred, grows their influence, and increases opportunities in their area of expertise. Ryan, welcome, and thanks for being here today.
Doug, thanks for having me on. I'm honored to be here.
My pleasure. Let's get right to it. First question I have for you today is, do you feel that having a visible personal brand is important to the success of your clients in their job search?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's essential in today's day and age. You know, it used to be you could get by with just a resume as kind of your marketing document, if you will. But today, if you really want to be found, if you want to be recognized for your expertise, and most importantly, you want recruiters to match and know that they can trust the information on your resume today, you have to have a digital brand.
Okay, very good. If a client came to you and had little or no visible personal branding, what three things would you tell them to do first to start the process of establishing their own digital brand?
Sure. Well, the very first thing is people need to realize that even though they've not actually done anything, say, actively or intentionally to create a digital brand, they probably still have one. So they need to keep in mind that if they have uploaded anything, liked anything, commented on anything at all online, they most likely have some type of digital footprint. So the first thing that I always recommend any of my clients to do as we start to look at how do we brand them online digitally is go and Google yourself first. A lot of people don't do that, but you need to take the time. It doesn't take long. Type your name into the Google search bar and hit enter. There's a couple things to that. One is don't type your name in to a browser that you're signed into. So before you do it, sign out of your browser. And then open up, say, in Chrome, an incognito window, or if you're in Safari or one of the other browsers, just open up a private browsing window, but make sure you're signed out because all of these browsers are, if you will, biased towards your natural search. And so they look for you. They know what your preferences are. And so if you just go into it signed in, you're not going to get the same results that you will if you're signed out. So make sure you sign out and Google yourself. Take a look at the first page. If everything on that first page is you, then you have a little bit more of a head start on a lot of other people than what you may think you do. But go through each individual return and ask yourself, is this you? If it is you, click on the link and see what it is that web page is saying about you. It could be something you uploaded, or it could be something that someone else uploaded about you. Either way, you need to know what that is. And then what I always recommend my clients do is kind of a second step is if they do show up in that Google search, print out all the different pages for the top 10 that you show up on, just the first page, put them all side by side and ask yourself, is that the digital brand that you want people to find when they search for you? Do you want recruiters to find whatever those results are? Do you want hiring managers to find whatever those results are? You really need to pay attention to what is out there because whether you've been intentionally building a digital brand or not, chances are very good today that you have one already. So then as a third step, what I recommend people do as they're starting to build their digital brand is once they know what's out there about them, go do some housekeeping. If there are things that you find in that Google search that you don't like, or that don't reflect what you want to become known for, you need to remove them. Either take them down yourself or have the person who put it up ask them to take it down for you. You can actually, in extreme cases, you can go to Google and ask Google to take it down for you, but hopefully you never have to get to that point. But start with Googling yourself, print out all the stuff that's there, make sure that it reflects what you want to become known for or what you are known for today. And 3, do some housekeeping, clean up the stuff that doesn't matter or is not relevant.
Okay. That goes along the lines of another question I was going to ask you, which was whether you talk to your clients about online reputation management and what they can do. It's something that's important to you. So clearly it is. Do you think that publishing additional content or putting up new content online in an effort to suppress rankings or other results that show up in search engine is something that people should take a step to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I recommend it to all my clients. In fact, as part of my four-step D.I.C.E process, the C is to create content. And it's not just creating content to manage your online reputation. I mean, it is, but it's also not. And it's not in the sense that I want you to create content to push stuff down. That does happen as a natural result of you creating content. But what I want my clients to create content more for is to position themselves online so that when a recruiter or a hiring manager or, even today, boyfriends and girlfriends, I mean, let's face it, we all look up somebody online today before we meet them or talk to them. That content it positions you in your industry, and it gives people a sense of who you are and what you're all about. And for potential employers today, they can use your content to start to get a feel for who you are. They'll start to know you a little bit better. And based on your content, they can either like what you have to say or not like what you have to say. But either way, what you're doing is you're slowly getting people to know, to like, and eventually through your content, they can become to trust. They can start to trust you. And when they trust you, they'll want to do business with you. And in many cases, especially for job seekers, that means that they're going to want to contact you to talk to you for an interview, and see how you can help add value to their company.
Do you think that they should be specifically publishing content that's directly related to their industry and areas of expertise to try to sort of increase their visibility and maybe level of authority in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, 100% depends on their goals, but for most business professionals, yes, absolutely. That's what I recommend. If you want to become known, say, as the best basket weaver in the world, then when I search for you online, or I search for basket weaving online, I need to find you. I need to know that you're publishing content on your own blog or your own website about basket weaving. Tips, tricks, your thoughts, everything that you know is going out on basket weaving on your blog. When I search for basket weaving online, I would ideally like to be able to find you. I would like to see your name somewhere in a basket weaving publication or something that says that, hey, they're not just contributing on their blog, they're contributing to the larger basket weaving industry as a whole. That makes you a much more desirable, a much more, say, well-rounded, if you will, candidate in their mind, because you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk, and you are helping others succeed in that industry.
Just last thing on that topic is, do you think somebody should be focused exclusively on what it is that they are doing in terms of what their career goals are, what sort of industry or expertise that they have, and that's really where they focus all their content? Or do they show a little bit more about themselves personally and their lives, their vision, their aspirations, their traits, things like that?
Yeah, I think it depends on where you are in your process. If you are just getting started and you want to become known for something within your industry, then I definitely recommend initially all of your posts, all of your content should be about that thing, whatever it is that you're trying to become known for. Eventually, you can go what I call off-brand, which is you start to now, because you've become known for this thing, or you're starting to become known for your thing, you can now start to give a little bit of your personality. But you also still need to recognize and acknowledge that what you put out there online is going to be found for someone. So you need to be intentional about the things that you post online, even if they are personal. Posting pictures of, for example, I recommend never post pictures of or posts of anything political. Unless your industry is politics, stay out of the political realm. Leave your political opinions to yourself. Don't put them online, because the internet makes it easy today. We have to say it out loud whether we want to or not, but it makes it easy for people to discriminate against you. And they may come across your political post that could be innocent in your mind, but they may read it and go, you know what, I disagree with that. And they're going to move on to the next candidate. So yes, it's okay to post things that's outside your industry. You just need to be aware of how those things can be perceived by others. And unless your industry is politics, I recommend everybody who's a business professional keep politics offline conversations.
Okay, that sounds great. It's a very competitive job market, and it's difficult for anybody to stand out to a recruiter or a potential employer. What advice do you give your clients to help them stand out and be memorable when they are in the process?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I mean, first of all, the whole D.I.C.E process that I use with my clients is designed for that specific purpose. It's to help you build a digital presence online, build your digital brand online, so that when somebody does search for you, everything they find is about that or related to that. And because it helps with what I think is probably one of the most important things to do when you go online, which is congruency. If you're posting stuff that's, kind of all over the place here, there, and everywhere, it's difficult for people to put together a cohesive picture of who you are as a person. And today, more than ever before, with just a few clicks of the mouse, I can get a feel for who you are. And as an employer, I can get a feel for how you will fit into my culture. So if you're posting content and you're coming across as an industry leader, that's going to help you stand out in my mind. That's going to put you above, head and shoulders above people who are your competitors for a specific job or potential role within a company. And I always recommend, one of the key things I do with D.I.C.E, the I stands for integrate, and that's integrating your brand online, which is basically building out your digital platform, is you have to have a website. For me, having your own home base, a place where you can send people, a place where it's not rented land that you're building your brand on, it's owned land, meaning you could build your brand on Facebook if you wanted to. You could build your brand on LinkedIn if you wanted to. But think about how many policy changes that those companies make all the time. And they could all of a sudden one day decide, so for example, let's take LinkedIn. Let's say you've been posting content on LinkedIn, and I recommend you do that. But let's say LinkedIn decides that one day they're just going to take away the publisher feature to anybody who's not a, quote, influencer in their industry. That means that if that's the sole place you've been building your brand, it's all gone. You have no place to point anyone to for reference anymore. And so to me, the key to standing out, and what I've been told by recruiters and other career coaches as well, is if you have that website, you have that digital base, if you will, where all of your content goes, you own it, you control it. So therefore, as long as you continue to pay your property tax, what I call the property tax, which is your hosting fee, you'll have that space forever, and it's always yours, and you don't have to worry about anybody changing the policy for you. I was actually talking with a hiring manager. I interviewed him on my podcast, Walt Disney World. And one of the things that he told me was he had two candidates who were, when he put them side by side on paper, they both went to the same college. They both had very similar jobs at different companies. One of them had taken the time to build out their digital brand, put together a website where they posted content on their industry, their thoughts, and yes, they went off brand every now and then, but it gave them a kind of a feel for their personality. And he felt like just from that initial screening that he already knew that person. And so guess who he invited to come in for the interview?
That one.
Right. And it's just, as we look at the world and how it's evolving, building out your digital brand is critical, I think, not just to your job search efforts, but to your career overall.
Very good. Well, Ryan, thank you very much for being here today. We really appreciate it. And like to just thank you for spending the time with us on the interview series.
Sure. No problem, Doug. Thank you very much for having me. I'm honored to be here.